Ladies and gentlemen, I can't tell you how excited I am to have my friend Marino on the show. He's doing wonderfully. Marino, how are you?
I'm good. How about you? How about you?
Man, I'm doing well. I'm doing great because you're here.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. I'm very thankful. I met you a few years ago, and I actually talk to people on my show about silver linings because
Mhm.
we have bad stuff that can happen to us throughout this life, and I think eventually or generally you can find silver linings somewhere down the line. Even though something bad happened, something good came out of it, and I think you know this.
Yeah.
And we moved because of a bad situation, and and I met you and your mom and dad, and they're very sweet and kind people. So
Thank you.
for me, it's a giant silver lining.
Mhm.
And I think I'm going to give you some time later to talk about your silver linings. And
Yeah.
yeah, so it's great to have you here. Great to have
Thank
you
you so
here.
much. Thank you.
A lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, know the masks, the songs, the mystery. But I'd like you to start with the person behind the mask. When you look at everything that has happened over the last year, what has this rise felt like for you personally?
Uh, I think it's like unexpected, I guess. Like I didn't expect it to get this big. I always kind of thought like, maybe I could do something with it, but not like get anywhere to this point. And to just see like how I've just continued to have like songs that do well. I've probably put out like I'm trying to think, like maybe 8 songs or 7 songs in the last like 2 years or something, and just see all those resonate with people, like every single one. Some more than others, obviously, but to see them resonate, it's just actually crazy. Like, I knew like I would probably have one decently sized song, and I thought that was "I'm Doing Fine," like the first song that blew up. But I never thought it would be like, basically like every single one doing well. So it's just like it's a childhood dream.
I'm so happy for you because you're connecting with people on a major, major level.
Yeah.
And that's not always easy to do. So you've really struck a nerve, and I'm just so thrilled. I really am. So you've written about anxiety, insecurity, self image, loneliness, and feeling like you didn't quite fit in. And I have to tell you, on a personal note,
Mhm.
I grew up kind of like that. So I totally understand. When did you realize that being that honest in your songs could actually help other people feel less alone?
I think I realized it with the first song that was kind of based around my problems, which is "I'm Doing Fine." Uh and I had had that song sitting on my hard drive for like probably a year, and it basically nothing had came out of it. I'd posted on TikTok once and it just didn't really do anything. Turns out I sent it to like one of my friends who had like a he or my friends that I had basically done stuff with before. They're called Promoting Sounds. I sent them the song, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, this is so good," and I thought it was like horrible. I just didn't like it. So basically, they had it sitting on their hard drives as well. And one day they decided, "Oh, we're just going to upload this on TikTok, see if it does well on their TikTok pages." And it started resonating with people. And right then and there, I started like, wait, like these lyrics actually like mean something to other people as well, like. And I didn't really realize that until then. I just thought maybe this was just like a situation that I was going through that nobody else could like resonate with. And it was really eye opening to see people connecting with it. And then I realized that like what I've gone through like the past 2 years of my life, other people have been going through it too, like near the same time as well. And you were saying silver linings, and I'd say that's a silver lining right there, to go through all that struggle, but then have a song that connects with so many people and can help so many other people. um, it's I wish I wouldn't have to go through those things and wish it wouldn't be that way, but because I have, now I can resonate with other people with that song, and it can be their song, you know?
Yeah. And I think that to relate to people's pain, to really relate, you need to have experienced it yourself. And
Yeah,
I think that's
100%.
yeah, and I think that's why you're connecting. I have to show you something. This kind of makes me think of you. My wife bought this for me because now since my surgery and stuff, my life changed a good bit, and I kind of struggle a little bit with certain things,
Mhm.
and this is I don't know if you can read that or not.
Yeah,
Is
the
it
world needs who you were made to be.
That's
Wow.
right. And so she gave me that as a reminder. And I'm showing you that as a reminder because you're doing your thing, okay? You're just being you and
Mhm.
you're affecting millions of people. And I just think it's so cool. I just think it's so cool.
Thank you.
So, yeah, really great. I bet your mom and dad are so proud.
Yeah, yeah, they are. It's crazy to for them to be able to see it as well and see like what everything has brought me and just the opportunities that I've had since all that stuff is just really it's awesome.
Yeah. Now, are you able to do music full time now?
Yeah, yep.
Great.
Thank you.
Great. I mentioned that I know you personally,
Mhm.
and and I am going to mention that you took some guitar lessons from me,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm really thankful that you did. And between you and I have one other student that's pretty famous, Henry Thomas. He took guitar lessons. He's the boy that was in the movie E.T. who
Mhm.
played Elliot. So
Wow.
you guys are my most famous students. So I'm like a proud papa. I'm really thrilled. Life's crazy that way, and
Yeah.
those are the things. They're so random the way things happen.
Mhm.
Like the way I met you and the way I met Henry, and it's just so cool if you sit back and let life do its thing. There's a lot of great stuff that comes through, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. And back then when I was taking guitar lessons, like that was my goal. And I remember telling you, like, I want to be able to make songs. Like, I just want to know chords so I can make songs. And you were able to
Yeah.
teach me, like, basically everything that I needed to know with the bar chords and everything like that, just to make just to be able to write songs.
Well, I can tell you this. When you let me hear the first song, uh, I knew right away. I told my wife, I said, I hung up the call with you and I said, this kid is special. He has a gift. I did. I told Kay, I knew
Thank
right away
you.
that you were gifted.
Thank you. Yeah,
Pretty
that
cool.
means a lot. Like back
Yeah.
then, I didn't really hadn't really put out anything yet or anything like that. So it
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah. Well,
I remember sending you the songs and everything.
hmm well, the rest is history, buddy. The
Yeah.
rest is you're doing great. You're
Thank you.
doing great. In fact, let's explain to people. I know you're humble, but we need to share some numbers if you
Mhm.
can spout some off the top of your head. I know that The Devil in Disguise on YouTube had over 30 million views, right?
Yeah, I think in all on YouTube Music, like basically, I think a music video has 30 million views, but then there's lyric videos of it, everything. From what I can see on YouTube Music, I think it just might have hit like 100 million streams, but I could be wrong. It might be less. I wonder if I have my
Wow.
phone beside me. No, I don't.
Wow.
But
And
yeah,
then a service like Spotify. How many streams on Spotify?
240 something million since the last time I've checked. It's insane.
I'm laughing because it's so great. And I'm also laughing because there's many professional musicians such as I,
Mhm.
you know, we haven't figured this out yet, Marino. So uh, one of these days you're going to have to share the secrets. But I know what the secret is. You wrote songs that truly, really, really connected with people. So
Yeah, I think it's a lot of the lyricism, I think it
it
has a
is,
lot to do with the
yeah.
lyrics.
Your lyrics are great. They're great. And again, they hit home with so many people. And I have to tell you, I've said this for a long time now. You're growing up in an age, and social media is just the norm. But for
Yeah.
people like me, we didn't have that stuff. And I have to tell you, there's a lot more pressure on young people because of all the social media, I find.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot of comparison of lives, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah. And
it's gonna be rough, like, it's a double-edged sword, like, social media can be a good thing to get
right.
yourself out there and put your own stuff out there, but it can also be a horrible thing, if you just sit on there and watch the wrong negative things, it can really fill your mind with, like, bad thoughts and kinda make you compare yourself to other people as well.
Yes. And the comparison part is rough because, generally on Facebook or whatever social media, TikTok, whatever, most of the times people are not portraying themselves in a real light. They're
Yeah.
they're showing the best that they could show you and
Yeah,
not
the
showing
best is
you.
even sometimes better than the best,
Yeah,
like, with Photoshop and all these other things, like, when it comes to
exactly.
self-image, like, people have a complete skewed idea of what somebody might actually look like in person.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And you again are touching a nerve because you're doing the opposite. You're
Mhm.
exposing all of your insecurities and you're showing people, "Hey, look, I hurt. I have this. I don't like how I look or whatever." And by the way, I've seen you without the mask. Can I say that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're a handsome guy.
Thank you.
S So, I get it though because you have to see yourself as that.
Yeah.
You're the one that needs to feel that way.
Mhm.
And I get it totally. I get it totally. I make jokes all the time that I have the perfect face for radio.
Yeah. I mean, you have a
So,
great face.
well, it's the perfect face for radio. But as I look as God made me, and so
Mhm.
but it's hard sometimes for people to like how they look or
Yeah.
like how they sound or I mean, there's a lot. I know even me. I had this surgery and I have a scar like is that big on the back of my neck,
Wow.
and even that affected my self-esteem because it's my neck's stiff and all that stuff. So you have to deal with all these things. And again, I'm so proud of you because you were not so self-conscious that you couldn't share these feelings with other people. And because you did, you're a huge success and you've touched a lot of people.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy, like, I think you really hit it, like, I'm exposing all the thoughts that I have and everything like that, and a lot of people just, they don't wanna come out and say all that stuff, and
Mhm.
totally understandable, but I think, like, when you truly get down to the root of the stuff and be, like, exactly who you are, that's when people relate to you.
And I think that's a lot of our problem. We're afraid to be ourselves
Mhm. Yeah.
because, again, you look at social media and you see, well, this person's this way and they're doing great like that. So I need to be like that, right?
Yeah.
But that's not true.
Yep.
It's not true. We have to all be comfortable in our own skin, and it's hard, but it's the best way to be.
Yeah. 100%.
So we had to take a slight pause because Marino had to change out his mask because I think he was getting a little overheated
Yeah,
or
this one was kinda bothering me, so I changed to a different, it's a little bit of a different color as you can see, but Yeah, I had to change it out.
It actually just looks like you have a bit of a tan now.
Yeah. Yeah, color's a little bit different.
Now let me ask you. I'm assuming that by wearing the mask, it actually allows you to feel free to be more honest than if
Yeah.
you did not have the mask on, correct?
Yeah, 100%. I can conceal my identity, which is a big thing, so people don't really know who I am or truly like personal friends and stuff.
I think it's a great idea. And again, I don't think you need it, but I get
Thank
why
you.
you're doing it. I get why you're doing it, and I think it's great. And that's a good looking mask too.
Thank you.
So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it
that
looks
one,
good.
yeah, that one just looks like you spend a little more time out in the sun.
Yep. Yeah, got a little tan going. It's
Yes, you
summertime,
do.
so
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. So you talked about the song "I'm Doing Fine,"
mhm.
and you almost didn't release it, and then it really opened up doors for you. What did that teach you about trusting a song even when you're unsure about it?
Yeah, I think it taught me that, like, just because, you post a song on social media and at first it doesn't really do good, doesn't mean that necessarily it's a bad song or nobody's gonna, like the song. It's really just about, a lot of times too, maybe a song just isn't meant in the moment, but maybe down the line it is. And so I think there's multiple reasons like songs might not do well at some point and then might do better. Social media in a nutshell is very unpredictable as well. So you just never know like why something picks up 100% or why it doesn't. And if somebody tells you like they have the answers to this whole thing, they're lying. Everybody is doing their own thing and nobody really knows exactly what is 100% going on. People might be able to like predict things a little bit better or something like that, but it's a very unpredictable job or, career path because you just never really know. But I would say about your question, I think just like testing the song multiple times, not giving up on it. And surely if it's something that you relate to and believe in, I think there's a way to make the song work.
Well, it surely did work.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a believer in you're an artist and I'm an artist. So I think it's important for us just to write music no matter what
Oh yeah.
and not worry about whether it's huge or not. Because
Mhm.
I don't think that makes it, I mean, monetarily, yes, it makes it more
Yeah.
valuable. We know that. But I'm talking about expressing yourself and expressing your feelings and your thoughts and all that stuff. I don't think it's less valuable. I think you should write everything you can write and keep it all.
Yeah.
And it's your library of music.
Yeah, and I have like a lot of things that I've wrote that will probably never see the light of day. Um, and it's just like it was important for me to write that song either way. It expressed
Yeah.
a feeling at that time that I was going through, and it helped me, almost like therapy in a way.
Yeah. Now, do you happen to know the numbers on that song? Streams?
I'm doing fine.
Mhm.
Probably around. I don't know like YouTube or anything, but I know on Spotify it has like 120 million streams.
Wow. Wow. That's just great. And there's a song you weren't sure about.
Yeah, I know. Crazy,
And
right?
it's amazing and wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Another great song that you wrote is called Devil in Disguise.
Hmm.
And it's really clever. My wife and I, we love that tune. We just love
Thank
it.
you.
It's really clever. I mean, it really, really is. And I think, if I read correctly, that the idea for that came from possibly characters in a video game or something.
Um, yeah, so basically the idea, in my opinion, came primarily from like a show I watched called Demon Slayer, and then another show actually I just finished watching when I sat down to write the song, which was called Squid Games, if you know what that is.
Oh my.
Yeah.
That was pretty violent, I tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I got it wrong on the video game. It was
Mhm.
actually I thought there was a video game called Demon Slayer, I think is why I thought.
Oh, yeah. I think there is a game for it, but yeah, it's primarily an
But
anime.
again, I'm a bit older than you, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm not a video game guy, but I do know this. You're really into anime, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
I think it's very cool, and you use a good bit of it in your videos.
Yeah. Um I kind of like grew up watching it and stuff when I was younger, like Dragon Ball Z and all these different like animes that were like kind of the early ones, like Naruto and stuff like that. But then as I got older, when COVID happened and everything like that, I just started watching like a ton of them because I had nothing better to do. So
Right now, your fan base, I'm sure, is international.
yeah.
Do you hear from people from all over?
Oh
And
yeah.
okay, and so you're hearing from probably a lot of young people
Hmm.
that are blessed by your lyrics. And do you find that the issues that people connect with are pretty universal no matter where they live?
Yeah, and it's crazy because even like on Devil in Disguise and other songs, like there will even be videos of people translating the lyrics to their language. And then you'll see in the comments, you can translate their comments and they're like, oh my God, I relate to this. Oh, like so many different things. And it's crazy how, even though they might not understand the language, once it's translated, they can just relate to it as well. It's crazy. So a lot of my songs like can relate to anybody, any country, anywhere. And I think that's a great thing about the internet is they can hear that song.
Well, because you're writing on the human condition. So it's going
Mhm.
to apply to everybody,
Yeah.
everybody everywhere, which is genius, and it's just really cool. I mean, and I'm sure you didn't probably sit down and say, I'm going to write these songs so they appeal to everybody, right? You
Yeah.
didn't think
No.
that.
No.
No.
I feel like when you
But
try
it
to
is,
write that way, it doesn't even work. Like
yeah.
I've trust me, like after I'm doing fine, I had this period like a few songs later where I was like a little in my head, like, thinking like, oh my gosh, do I need to write this way or this way? Like trying to think because you get in your head. Like once it
Mhm.
becomes big, then you're like, how do I continue this? What do I do? And, I wrote so many things that were, quote unquote designed to do well and they just didn't do well. Once you lose that kind of like realism and you try and think like, oh, what will people find real?
Mhm.
It doesn't work anymore. It has to be like from the heart, in my opinion. It's very because, and I've never tried to write about anything that I don't like relate to or haven't been through myself. Mostly, um, but when it comes to like having like going through certain things, like people can kind of tell like if you've really been through something, because you're gonna know certain things that like people are gonna be like, wait, that's so specific. Like how does he know that? Like I've been through that same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I think like it's very important that to keep writing like just from the heart. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, next song maybe.
Well, if it doesn't work at the moment,
Yeah.
somewhere down the road, there may be somebody with a shared experience,
Oh yeah.
a shared experience that it discovers the song,
Yeah,
and
100%.
yeah. So I talk to a lot of my guests, and a lot of them are instrumentalists, and we talk about improvising. And generally, the good improvisers, it boils down to them having and trusting their instincts, their instincts. And I think that when you're writing, when you're too much in your head, you're not instinctive. It's not this experience, the life
Yeah.
experience flowing out of you. You're thinking about, hey, can I make this clever or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
uh, I think again, you're a guy that's operating on instinct
Yeah.
that's come from life experience.
Yeah, and I think that's like I think you're exactly kinda like hit the nail on the head. It's like a lot of times when these songs come out that work so well, it's just totally instinctive. Like it doesn't really I'm not thinking in the moment like, "Oh my gosh, like what should I write?" Or like, "How can I make this clever?" The lyrics just kind of flow out in a way. And that's what happened with Devil in Disguise. That's what happened with I'm Doing Fine. Like literally, sometimes I don't even realize like what I'm saying because I'm just like, I don't know how you write your songs and stuff like that when you add lyrics. But how I do it is basically I just get like a chord pattern and I sit down and just like kind of just think of melodies, but at the same time lyrics are coming out on top of these melodies, right? Like basically together.
Mhm.
And sometimes I would write these songs like Devil in Disguise and I would um, get these lyrics on paper, and it takes me like a few minutes to even realize, like, wow, this is actually kind of good,
Yeah.
because I'm just spitballing lyrics out kind of like instinctively. And I don't know how that works, like what that is, and I don't know. It's weird.
I have a theory. Um, I believe, as far as I know, you have religious beliefs in your family, correct?
Yeah.
So for me, when I'm writing, I believe that if I can clear my mind and not try to overthink things, that these ideas appear. And I believe that I have major help
Up
from
above.
above,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've thought the same thing, like 1,000,000%.
Mhm.
It's just very like it just feels so magical almost, like sometimes.
Well, I kind of say that we musicians are a vessel. Music for me is a gift from God to all of us. So
Mhm.
uh, we are the people that deliver. We're the delivery system.
Yeah.
So, not saying you don't do the work, because you do. And
Yeah,
I have
but
to do the work on my end, and everybody needs to do their work. But I believe that these magical things happen because we open up ourselves enough to let it flow.
yeah, 100%, and I've thought the same thing, it's crazy, because it really does feel like that sometimes.
It
Like, when
does.
these moments happen and you come up with something that you really like or just some lyrics that, like, in the moment didn't really make sense, but then you look at them on paper and you're like, "What? Like, what did I just write?" And it just feels like it's just, like, so coincidental that those lyrics came together like they did and stuff like that, that you almost think that it has to be, like, something else, somebody helping you out from above, so I 100% agree with you.
Well, I'm glad that you feel that way, because I do too. And also, I do know that you work at it. So it's
Yeah,
not like you're just like sitting around going, "Hey, beam me some lyrics, beam me this or
yeah.
that," and otherwise you got your feet back on the recliner and chugging a brewski. So
Yeah, yeah, no, and I think, like, that's an important thing too, like, what I've realized is, I can't just pick up the guitar after not picking it up for a month and write like a really good song. It takes like a lot of I kind of think of the brain as like almost like an algorithm of where when you're constantly writing songs, the more you write, well, first of all, it's kind of like a lottery ticket. The more you write, the more chances of hitting, or the more like lottery tickets you have, the more chances of hitting the jackpot. The more songs you write, the more chances of writing something that you really like or other people are going to like. Um, but I also think it's almost like an algorithmic thing where the more that your brain is in tune and writing every single day, the better it gets at it. And it
Mhm.
doesn't, in my opinion, like, you never forget how to play the guitar. You never, like, once you've learned it, you know the chords and stuff like that. Surely if you've played it a lot. Um, but when it comes to songwriting, like, you never forget how to write a song, but when you go away from it and then come back, you're just rusty, you know? And I guess
Oh
same with
yeah.
guitar as well.
Yeah, it's like a muscle for sure. So
Yeah.
you have to keep exercising.
Yeah.
And so by writing every day, practicing every day, I mean, I know if I miss one day of practice, I can really tell. I can tell. It's funny, there's a guy named Larry Carlton, and you probably don't know who he is, but he's a wonderful guitarist and played on tons and tons of studio sessions back in Los Angeles, back in the
Mhm.
day when that stuff was big. And I saw a quote from him one time saying, if I miss a day, I know it. And if I miss 3 days, my audience knows it. So
Yeah.
it is something you have to exercise, but you're doing it. So just keep at it. You got to keep at it, keep writing, and write about everything you want to write about.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I try and write about new experiences that are happening in my life all the time. I think it's kind of like one of these things a lot of times for me where it's like when I wrote I'm Doing Fine, when I wrote a lot of these songs, I had been going through that situation for a bit before I was able to write on it because I feel like when you're in the midst of the situation and it's happening like right in front of you, first of all, if it's a bad situation, it's hard to do anything. Surely, like sit down and write a song, you know, if you're
Mhm.
going through these mental health struggles. But then, just another thing, your brain takes a while to like process like what actually happened and to kind of break it down and realize like what's going on. Because in the moment, a lot of these mental health things, you don't even know what's going on yourself, you know. So
Mhm. Now, as far as mental health, and these are all issues with anxiety and low self esteem and depression and all that stuff. Do you find yourself still struggling with those kind of issues?
Um, yeah, I think like it's like a constant struggle that can get better and get worse just depending on what's going on in my life. But yeah, I think like once you kind of you can definitely get through your mental health struggles and I've gotten through a lot of them, but they always kind of follow you to a certain extent and it's just about how you deal and react to them, you know. Um and I think like once you can learn how to react to them in a better way than you were before, it can make it a lot better. But it's something you deal with, and I think a lot of people don't realize how hard it can be if they don't really have these struggles as much as others, because it is one of those things where before I had it, you just like, oh, why does this person act a certain way? Because you don't have any empathy because you can't or sympathy, empathy, because you don't really know you haven't been through it, you don't really know what that person's going through. You don't know the pain or what it causes because it's one of those things where it's not where you just bumped your arm and you can see you know
Mm-mm.
the pain. It's one of these like internal things that is so hard to digest and like really see it if you haven't had it because you just can't. There is nothing, so
Yeah.
a lot of times you only see like the outcomes and you never see like the pain that these people are having. Like you might see like the panic attacks, like the outward side effects people have from them and stuff like that, but you can't tell like how it actually feels for that person in the moment, really,
Mhm.
and for me that was kind of like one of these things where I had to really learn as well, through that. And I think it created a lot of like empathy inside me for people who go through these mental health struggles and stuff like that as
Y-
well.
Yeah. My last guest was Gary Talley. And Gary was the guitar player from a group. You'll have to look them up because way before your time, their
Hmm.
song came out in 1967. It was called The Letter. My baby, she wrote me a letter. And it was really a big song, and it still gets played to this day quite
Wow.
a bit. It's a great song. You have to look it up. You'll love it because you're a writer. And I didn't know this. I've known him for years, and he admitted to having depression for many, many years, and he had some treatments that worked for him. But you don't know because when I would see Gary, I would think he's funny and uh, having great conversation with the guy. There's no indication that he's depressed.
Yeah.
Yet he was, and It's good that you know this because you're with your music, you're reaching people and they know they're not alone. Here's a question I have for you, and this is not something I was going to ask, but since we're on that subject, are there any organizations that you deal with dealing with mental health, or is there an organization you'd like to connect with that would be something that you could parlay the music thing into helping people find help?
Like an organization, like a mental health, like I'm kind of confused of what.
Well, I think there's a I think it's called NAMI, NAMI. I think it's the National Association for Mental Illness or something
Okay,
like that.
okay.
So that I guess that's what I'm getting at. Any kind of
Yeah,
organizations.
I mean, I've never really completely looked into like the organization thing and stuff like that. Um, Honestly, probably should and kind of see like if there is anything like that because I've never really dealt with any. I mean, I've had therapy and stuff like that, but never really kind of like gotten involved with any organization or something. But that's a really good idea to look into it as well.
I think it's something that you could connect,
Yeah.
and you will help people with your lyrics and your music, help them, point them in a direction that they could get help.
Yeah, 100%.
So just a thought. I was wondering, when I was listening to your tunes, I thought, man, they're so heartfelt and they're so pertinent to many people that you may be in a position where you can help even more by
Yeah.
directing them.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
really cool actually. I had to look into that.
Yeah. I mean, it's great for us to know we're not alone in our thoughts,
Mhm.
but sometimes people, they need actual real help,
Yeah.
besides
Mhm.
knowing that somebody else thinks that way. There needs to be places for people to reach out to to get some help.
Yeah. 100%.
So, Marino, you've talked about building this Marino universe, I believe, with
Yeah.
characters, animation, emotion, temptation, pride, lust, and storytelling. How much of that world is planned and how much do you discover as the songs unfold?
I think like pretty much all of it is just kind of as the songs unfold. Like I had no clue that I'd be writing songs on like the seven deadly sins or a song about the devil or even I'm doing fine or even the earlier songs like it's just kind of like how it unfolds and then we just kind of like put animations and create a world around the song.
Yeah. And again, that's like the instinct thing we were talking about, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so
But
it's
oh, go ahead.
crazy.
I'm sorry.
No, it's
Yeah.
fine. That's all I was going to say. It's crazy.
Yeah. You didn't mention this other song that I told you is one of my favorites. It's called I'm My Own Worst Enemy because
Mhm.
that one hits home.
Yeah.
In fact, my wife has told me over and over, she said, "You're so kind to everybody else, but you talk to yourself. You would never talk to your friends or anybody the way you talk to yourself."
Yeah.
Do you find that you do that with yourself?
1,000,000%. Like that's kind of like what I wrote the song about and everything. I feel like most times we treat ourselves with like so little respect and stuff like that and we don't really surely with like mental health problems and stuff, you don't take care of yourself that great and sometimes and it can be hard and I feel like that's kind of like what I wrote the song about of how like you judge yourself so harshly. And it kind of goes back with the social media thing as well. Comparison really can like start to cause that to even get worse.
I agree. And when I heard that song, I was like, wow, man, Marino's nailed me now, you
Yeah.
know, because I'm telling you, Kay has said to me, I don't know how many times, you would never talk to your friends that way.
Mhm.
She hears
Yeah.
me in working and I'm writing a tune or recording and there's something I don't like and I'm, probably saying things to myself like, you stink or
Yeah.
whatever. You know,
Yeah, I've done the same thing over and over.
it's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
Great song though, man. You hit
Thank you.
home. You hit home.
I really hate the way I look. Invert the camera, turn the beauty filter up. If they don't see me how I see me, that's enough. I'll fall in love with a person that's not really me. The real me hates me, the real me ain't me. The real me hates me, I'm my worst enemy. The real me hates me, the real me ain't me. The real me hates me, I'm my worst enemy.
Yo, can you come take a picture?
Yeah.
Wait, make sure you get the right angles.
There's always bags under my eyes. No matter what I do, I always see those lines. But I can fix it with the filter online. So who am I? Am I a lie? Am I something that I made up in my mind? When I look in the mirror, I see a face full of fear. Cause it's not the person with clear skin. No, not the person they see when I go and edit my post. I'm losing all self-control. The person I used to know is turning into a ghost. So who am I? The real me hates me. The real me ain't me. The real me hates me. I'm my worst enemy. The real me hates me. The real me ain't me. The real me hates me. I'm my worst enemy.
So here's something for you. I know a lot of artists struggle with the business side of things, but you seem to understand both the music and the way people connect with it online.
Mhm.
How do you balance being creative with also having a marketing mind?
Oof. That's like a very good question because I have to think about this every single day. And it's kind of something like where I was talking about how you like had to write songs all the time to be good at writing songs. It's like it is kind of similar on social media. So balancing the two is very hard because the algorithm is like on like these social medias is always changing. And, you know, one of the things that they promote so much is frequent uploads, you know, keeping a good schedule, not like going away for months and stuff like that. So it really is intensive in that form of where you need to always, in my opinion, like be uploading like once or twice a week. But then these uploads as well need to be actually well thought out things that are going to have a plan of how is this video going to do good, right?
Mhm.
So it really just is one of these things of balancing the two is like juggling. Like for a little bit, how I kind of do it is like I'll write a song, you know, I'll be in that stage where I'm writing, and maybe the social media takes a little hit, right? Maybe I'm not as active on there for a little bit. Get the song, then I'm like, okay, well, now I'm not as active writing songs. Now I've got the song. Now I'm focusing on the marketing side. So it is like kind of one of these things where even I struggle like heavily with it, of just trying to keep the two like coexisting. You know, sometimes it feels like one exists without the other. And you kind of get caught up in like either one. Like you might get too caught up in writing music. You might get too caught up in doing social media. And at the end of the day, like I feel like a lot of artists complain about this. It's like you have to be the marketer, the producer, the songwriter. Like a lot of times nowadays, you got to be everything, you know? And I think a lot of people get in it for making music and then they find out like, oh, to get the music out there, you have to do all this social media stuff and everything. And it's hard. Like it really is like one of those things where it takes a lot of, I don't even want to say like work because it isn't necessarily about how much work you do. It's more about how you like time manage yourself. Also, like, and I think it's like time management within your mind almost. Like, how sound can you keep your mind while going through all this? And can you think of songs while thinking of marketing ideas and stuff like this? Because, in my opinion, the work side of things, it can be hard to a certain extent, but I still feel like, at least for me, I work a lot less than somebody like work, like, you know, physically sit at my desk and write songs a lot less time than somebody would actually be at like a real job or real, I say real job, like, like, just like a 9 to 5 basically. But it's one of these things where it's mainly just, and people don't really, I guess, think about this until you're in it, where you kind of have to constantly be thinking about it. And I think that's one of the hardest things is, you know, you can't let your mind deviate or you know, get too involved in something else, or it's like one of these constant things where when you're in it, your mind is constantly thinking about it, and when you're not, you know, you kind of stray off the path, and you take a hit and you notice it immediately. Almost like it might take a week to really notice, but once your mind's away from the social media, the songwriting, it will show within like the new stuff that you try and create, the videos. And I've had it happen multiple times where I get, you know, I got family stuff to take care of or something else where these things just kind of get in the way, and all of a sudden I'm uploading videos and they're not doing as well. I'm creating songs, they don't sound as good, and it's just kind of like one of these things where I feel like this job is just like a big mind game. It's just like, you know, a lot of my best ideas have came when I'm about to go to sleep, because that's when my mind has the most time to kind of run. And what I was thinking about earlier in the day is going to follow me into that night, what I'm going to think about at night. So if I'm thinking about a bunch of random stuff, that's what I'm going to think about at night. If I'm thinking about work, that's what I'm going to think about at night, you know?
Right.
So
It's a real juggling act, and you're doing it so well. And I do want to let people know, you're not just writing these songs. You record everything. You're mixing and mastering everything yourself, correct?
Yeah, basically all of it's 100%. Sometimes I will have like, I think my song Hideaway, Lust, I have some production help. Like I'll have somebody add a few stems to the tracks, just some things that maybe I didn't think of, but they did. And for Devil in Disguise, like I had help on the second like verse, just some like lyricism things, trying to get the song out as fast as possible. I needed an extra head to help me out. So, you know, sometimes I'll have like an extra lyricist come in and kind of help with it. Obviously, like remotely, like we'll just get on FaceTime or something like that and just kind of do something. Or, you know, production help. But for the most part, like my most recent song, I'm Sorry Mom, was actually 100% me. I'm Doing Fine was 100% me. You know, Devil in Disguise was 90% me, you know. So basically every song is like 90% me. At least
you're actually able to do that at your home.
Yeah. Everything is done from my home. Like you really don't need like these massive like studios to go in and stuff like that. I mean, I say that while I have like a $4,000 mic sitting beside me, but you don't even need this mic. Like I bought this like a while back, and I'm like thinking about the purchase like over and over again. It's like, do I really need this? Like I probably could have just bought like a $500 mic. Like I don't know. I just feel like it's been proved over and over again, even by other people, not even me, that nowadays you don't need to be in a big studio to make like a song that goes big.
Yeah, I mean, I work the same way. I do everything here, everything out of my house, and
Yeah.
It's not like it used to be. And when it comes down to it, the content is the most important thing, not the gear, not the gear.
100%.
It's the content, it's the song, it's the lyrics, it's all that, and it's the performance. Now, having good gear helps to capture it.
Yeah.
And you have a great mic. That's a great mic. Yeah, and there's more expensive mics than that one.
Oh,
like
yeah.
a lot more, right?
Yeah, you could go all out. Like you could get the most expensive gear ever, but if the content of the song isn't good, it isn't gonna matter like how expensive the gear is. And to be honest, like a lot of people are listening like on their phones, like cheap headphones and stuff like this. Like they're never gonna be able to hear like, oh, he's using the U87 mic, or you know, like most people are casual listeners. Like I know we geek out about, you probably geek out about like certain plugins or physical hardware or something like that, and it's kind of like a producer thing. But at the end of the day, like most people like don't even realize like how a track is recorded. Like, so it really is just kind of one of these like things where, you know, if you want the gear, if you want it to sound nice, like that's like part of the art process for the person, you know, like nobody can take that away or say that isn't important. It's just like kind of what you value at the end of the day.
Yeah, you kind of have to mix now and mix so that it sounds good on a phone, because
100%.
I think that I don't know what the percentage is, but I'll bet you it's as high as 80 to 90% of people now just listen to music on a phone speaker.
Yeah, and the thing is even if they're not listening to the song all the time on the phone speaker, the way they're gonna find it is through TikTok. And when they're scrolling, they don't have headphones in most likely. Like when I'm scrolling on my phone watching videos, I don't have my headphones in. So it's very important that you know, the snippet that you have on TikTok or whatever sounds like good on the phone speaker. So
Yeah.
that's one of the first things I do. I'll listen to my headphones. It'll sound good. I'll put it on this phone speaker. If it sounds bad, I'm immediately back in the program trying to get it to sound
Right.
good.
Yeah, you have to. Speaking of, you mentioned TikTok. Is that your biggest social media
Say
platform that
it
yeah.
is, yeah, because I have
Okay.
1.5 million on YouTube. I'm about to hit 2 million on TikTok, and I have about 900,000 on Instagram. But also, the thing is with TikTok, I have multiple accounts on TikTok. So I have one with 400,000 followers. I have another one with 400,000 followers. I have another one with 200,000 followers. So I have close to about probably like a scope of like 3 million followers across all my TikTok accounts.
Okay, I have a question for you. My wife has told me forever to get on TikTok, and I have not.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me why I should be on TikTok, because
I would say you should be on TikTok because it's probably like one of the primary ways people find music, and it's a platform built off of like music. The way they have their sound IDs set up is like if you make a video with your sound, somebody can click on it in the bottom right, the sound itself, and create a video with that sound. And then all these videos that have the sound on them are collected under that sound ID, right? Well, TikTok's algorithm is specifically made where if you're watching a lot of these videos with that sound ID, then more are going to get recommended to you. So like, you know, if you watch my video of I'm Sorry Mom, right? You're gonna probably and you interacted with that video, you're probably gonna see another video of I'm Sorry Mom, and it might be from a completely different person. It might not even be from me, just somebody using the sound. But because you've interacted with the sound, now TikTok's like, oh, you might be interested in the sound itself, or videos revolving around that sound. It's almost like marketing where you say like, or you look up on the internet toaster, and then you start getting Facebook ads for a toaster. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, dude,
Um,
yes, I do.
So it's kind of like that. And I think TikTok is the best at that. And also like when you click on that sound ID, it has like this button if it's on Spotify, just like to add it to Spotify immediately. So I think like it's very important to use TikTok because you get the most, I would say people who hear the song are more likely to go stream it than on any other platform. And conversion is everything. Like people don't talk about this enough. You can have a video that does 10 million views, and has your song in it, but depending on what the content of the video is, maybe they're just there for the video. You know, maybe they're not there for the song. Maybe the video was entertaining, but the song they didn't like. So it's very dependent on like the conversion. You know, you can have a video do 100,000 views on TikTok and convert like, you know, 10,000 streams on Spotify over the next week. And you can have a video with 1 million views, but it does the same or less, you know?
Wow. So let me ask you this. Is it secure? Because I've always heard about all the
Like all the crazy stuff about TikTok.
yeah.
I think they sold it to the US, and that was a big I don't know anything about that stuff, to be honest. I have no clue like what all that stuff was. If it was just some kind of like big thing just to be able to buy part of TikTok and own part of it because it's huge in the US.
Could be.
I will say when they transferred it over, it was there were a lot of bugs and stuff like that.
Oh boy.
But now it's back running. I think it's pretty good. I have no clue. Like I would say if you're on the internet, just be ready. I feel like people, who use Chat GPT, AI, all these things, like I think most people probably don't care, but in the end, like if you tell a chat bot or you start searching things on TikTok, these things are going to be saved somewhere. And if somebody wants to pull that data and knows how to, then they're going to be able to, know things about you. And people could social engineer you through knowing certain things about you always. So just be careful, like what you do on these platforms and the information that you provide the platform with. But I think for the most part, like it's pretty safe.
So I guess my question is, you feel comfortable with it on your phone then, with all your other information on your phone and
Oh
everything
yeah,
else?
100%, 100%.
Okay.
I think there's definitely like a world where databases get leaked, passwords get leaked, all these different things could happen, but the chances that you're going to be the primary target of like one of these attacks is probably pretty low. You just have to be like very cautious. If something happens, just kind of like hopefully you can figure out that it happened and change your passwords or whatever. But for the most part, I've been on the internet for like, as long as I've been able to hold a phone in my hand and that they were around, and I've had limited issues. So I don't know. I think like with AI and everything, these problems are going to get worse, like kind of what you're talking about. But it's I don't know. I don't know.
I just saw today, I opened up my phone and there was a news story on PBS that said a company was hacked by one of the AI bots.
Yeah.
An actual company was hacked. So crazy
Yeah.
stuff. Here's a question for you. So I put out music and it's been on the smooth jazz side of things.
Mm-hmm.
I write all kinds of stuff, and but the stuff I wrote, the instrumental stuff, you heard some of it. It's been getting some radio play and such, but I've also heard completely AI generated music surrounding it.
Oh wow.
and I don't know what to think, It's what are your thoughts on the AI generated music?
I think for the most part, I'm probably like just kind of against it because I feel like it goes against like the whole human experience of like surely like lyrically, like and even like sonically, it's just like it's a little bit disheartening as like somebody who's and you probably feel this 100% because like you've wrote music your whole life, played the guitar your whole life, put tons of hours into being able to play the guitar correctly and be really good at it, and then you just watch some AI bot like spit out like a recreation of something that you learn, and it's just it's totally like inauthentic, and
yeah,
I think like there's always an argument for like people are typing in the prompts, so that's still kind of like human in a certain way, because they're kind of like using their thoughts in their head to like guide the AI.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I just think like from a musician perspective, I'm pretty harshly against it. Mm-hmm. But I think it's like pretty much inevitable that it will continue as long as there's no like governing kind of thing around it, which I don't think there is going to be in time. It takes so long for laws and stuff to be put in place that
it's really unregulated. So and there are people going to be, they're here and I know them, they're going to be watching this, and some are songwriters and they're using it to write songs. And my problem is just with, somebody saying I produced a song.
Oh, and then it's just AI.
And it's completely prompting. And I mean, it does bother me because I'm somebody that's studied for a lot of years. Believe it or not, I'm still studying. I'm still learning. Music for me is never ending. And I'm sure for you, it's going to be that way. As a writer, you're going to if you continue to progress, you're going to do so by learning and learning and learning and, and
Yeah.
realizing that it's an infinite thing. You're not,
Yeah.
you'll never know it all.
Never. Yeah.
So it is hard as a musician, and it's a little disheartening. And my problem I'm seeing on Spotify, it looks as though the pool of money that's there is being diluted by AI music.
Well, yeah,
And
that's the thing is, if you think about it, like logically, if AI songs are being written every single day and uploaded to Spotify,
yeah,
they're going to get streams. They're pulling people's attention away from real art, which means that a certain amount of money will be going to AI and reducing the amount of money going to real artists, because people's time is limited, right? They only have a certain amount of time to listen to a certain amount of songs a day. If they start adding AI songs into their playlists, that percentage of, where their time is spent is going to go less towards real artists, and that, dilutes the money.
correct. And I know people personally, they'll say, I uploaded 15 songs this week.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and I've talked to a couple people, and they said they've actually had finished projects in 10 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my
Crazy.
God.
But that's the
I
thing,
mean,
is the way the internet works now is it's actually favored towards AI, because the problem is songs in general move so fast nowadays. The chances of your song being a historical song that gets passed down through time is very, very unlikely, because there's so much going out, so many different things. People swipe onto one song on TikTok, like it, put it on their playlist, then they're on to the next second, And so the thing is the internet doesn't favor, in some senses, it doesn't favor, quality anymore. It favors almost like quantity of how much can you put out. The issue is with AI is you now can put out a large quantity while also not sounding horrible. The problem with quantity over quality back in the day was, oh, well, if you try and put out 100 songs a week, 99% of them are going to sound horrible, and it's not going to work. You should just focus on one song, But with AI, like, you have the ability to create a song in 20 minutes that doesn't sound half bad, and the more advanced these technologies get, the more hard it's going to be to tell if it's AI or not. You even see people on social media now faking, singing an AI song, singing, acting like they're the artist singing it, when in reality it's just an AI song with like a voice that might sound similar to how they look or whatever,
Right. Yeah, I actually have seen several, and I had to point it out to a few people. One guy sent me a link, and it was an R&B soul singer,
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I heard it, I knew. And then I did my Google, hey, is such and such an AI generated band? And it was like, yes, such and such is completely AI generated, which I knew. But so I sent him a message and said, hey, look, I get you that you like this, but you're sharing it as if it's a real human being, and it's not. This is completely generated. Now, again, there's people on this stream, and I'm not bashing them. I'm not. But as a musician, and as a musician and a writer, it's kind of painful to see people say, I'm a producer and I typed in prompts, when I know for me, when I write a song, every single note, every single rhythm, all that stuff is a conscious choice for me to make.
Yeah.
And it's my idea that put it there, and my ability to put it there, and my ability to play bass, or my ability to play guitar, or my ability to sing or piano or whatever. And same thing with you.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what's disheartening, because it's dehumanizing. That's my opinion.
No, I agree. I think it just like kind of is is a spit in the face to like real artists. Whether people really mean to do that or not when they use it. Most people just use it because it's cool, right? Like it's cool to sit down and like I mean probably like if you're not like a musician or whatever to be able to create a song or whatever just out of having no practice or knowledge or anything like that. I think it's more about when people, like you're saying, claim that they made the song, claim that they produced it, claim that they sang it. That's when it really becomes dehumanizing and really bad because they're falsely like saying, that they are a real person, they're creating this. And I think a real important thing in the future that Spotify, record labels, distributors should all do is make sure when a song is uploaded, there's some type of software that can say, hey, this is an AI song. We detected AI elements in the song. So when it goes on platforms, we're going to mark it as this is AI.
I have another friend, his name is Scott, and we've been talking about this for a while. We believe that everything should be labeled, and in fact, it should be put in different pools. This is over here on Spotify. You can listen to completely AI generated music if you'd like to. And here's where real humans reside.
Yeah, 100%. Because people are being tricked. Like, and I've noticed it from a European standpoint. People who don't speak English are actually getting tricked a lot easier as well. I don't know what it is, but Europeans, like other countries that aren't like, speaking the language like directly, or even sometimes they are, just even people in America, like older people, that are listening to these US songs or these like songs that are spoken in English, they're not able to tell that it's AI. And honestly, it's getting to the point where nobody's able to tell. Like only like musicians are able to tell, or people who have heard enough Suno songs or songs by these AI programs to be able to tell, like, oh, that voice sounds very, very similar to like all the other AI songs. And that's the only way I can tell nowadays is I hear the production is kind of easy to tell sometimes, but and mainly I'm able to tell in the voice itself. They all sound a bit similar to each other.
They do, but that it's going to get to the point where even we won't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it can only be
the problem. Yeah, the problem I have with it, number one, the way it all started, they stole the music. They stole it from real humans. Stole it. It wasn't licensed. It wasn't anything. They were going on platforms like YouTube and Spotify or wherever, feeding the machine with stuff illegally, and it was proven that they were, but it's Pandora's box, it's been opened, so there's no putting it back unless there's regulation. Again, I'm not on here to bash the AI stuff, but I do know, because I saw it mentioned, somebody accused you of being an AI generated artist, right?
Yeah. I've been accused of being an AI artist. I think it mainly comes because I don't show my face, like a lot of AI artists, they don't show their face because, once they get down to try and sing, they can't do it, like you can't sit down. But I think the thing that like really proves a lot of people wrong, like immediately, who think I'm AI is just go on my freaking social media and see I'm like playing the guitar and singing it in front of people, even if it doesn't show my face. I guess there's like a potential chance that like it could just be like an overlaid audio or something like that, but it's very
well. I can attest because I've been in the same room with you.
Yeah.
And, so you are real, everybody. Marino is the real deal. He is not AI generated. He is a real human being who's a real creative human being.
Thank you.
A really kind and generous human being. And these are the qualities that AI will never have. And as much as it progresses, it won't have the experiences that you've had, or that I've had, or any of our listeners have had. So the reason you're connecting with people on a massive level is because you are human and because you are empathetic and you have lived a life and had pain. And these are the things AI can't possibly create. And I'm going to urge my friends and listeners to go out and check out Marino. And
Thank
I'm going to
you.
give you links to his various platforms. And he's the real deal. And I'm thankful to call him friend.
Thank you.
And I just wish you, man, I just hope you explode even much larger than you already have.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And
And
thank
I'm
you for
going to,
having me.
oh, my pleasure. And there's going to be a pre-interview segment. They're going to hear some of your music and see some of your videos. And I know that they're going to be loving you. So
Thank you.
make sure that you tell your mom and dad that we said hello,
I will.
because you come from great stock.
Thanks. Yeah, you know my mom and dad well.
Yeah, they're really nice people. They're really nice people. So, man, thank you so much for sharing your time and your thoughts. It's been really interesting and very informative.
Thank you for having me on, and I'm just glad to be able to have this platform to talk about all these things.
We'll do it again. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't tell you how excited I am. Let me try that again.